Hello beautiful people, I'm RaishPhoenix, and in today's video I will be showing you guys my process for creating this piece. If you'd like to see, just keep watching. So this is SozoMaika's original character design Trin. I'm going to go ahead and leave her social or a link to her profile down below in the description box, so go ahead and check it out. But I came across her post on Twitter showing that she was having a Draw This in Your Style challenge, and as soon as I saw her character design, I was like, this is so dope, so I decided to participate. The first thing I did was coming up with a pose for this character design, so I kind of took a look at the way her original character was designed. I believe that she already said that her character was a succubus, so I wanted to do something that was kind of like, I don't know, like it just came to my mind, like tongue out, shoulders kind of hunched and like looking over the shoulder slightly. I don't know, it kind of felt like instinct to do a pose like that, so I went with this pose. I took a picture of myself doing it so I can reference my anatomy and make sure that I got it as close as possible for the type of like vibe and like the look that I was going for, and then from there I sketched it onto my paper. I decided to stick with the original color palette because I was doing this piece in general just to take a break from doing digital work, and I didn't want there to be a lot of thought put into this. I wanted it to be more carefree. Like lately I've been noticing that when I do traditional work I feel more relaxed and calm, and when I do digital I tend to get a little bit too much into my head, so I wanted to do this piece as a break and to be a little bit more freeing than usual. So I wanted to make sure that I kind of put thought into just making it my style as opposed to how can I make this like a crazy super successful piece. As you guys are seeing, I'm going in with a blue wash. So lately I've been doing grayscale paintings for my digital work, and it's helped a lot with helping me figure out the color palette that I want to use, because tone and colors get very mixed up in my head. It's difficult for me to separate value from color, and since I've been doing grayscale paintings, it's helped me drastically with my work. I can definitely see a difference in the way that I work. So I went in with a blue wash of gouache, so I'm using gouache, and I used the blue pretty much to just do an underpainting to help me figure out where are going to be my lighter tones, where are going to be my darker tones. Anything where the blue is super saturated, I know that's where I'm going to be putting a very dark color, and anywhere where the blue is more washed out and a lighter value, that is where I'm going to be putting the lighter tones. So I kind of laid down like low-key, like a paint by numbers type of situation. So whenever I went in with a color, I automatically knew, okay, this is where I'm putting a darker pink for the hair, or this is where I'm putting a lighter pink for the hair. And from there I just went in with whatever colors that were the same as the original character design. I also made sure that I set the colors that I needed aside and did not stray from them. So I had a very specific color palette. As I said, I did stick to the original one that was there from the original character design, but it made it a lot easier for me to be like, okay, these are the colors I need, and if I'm mixing anything, I'm mixing these colors to either make it darker or make it lighter, because I've noticed that in the past, the reason why I messed up doing color palettes so much is because I would have an idea of a blue that I thought was pretty, or an idea of a green that I thought was pretty, but they were never really cohesive because I never looked at them as a whole. I would just randomly think of colors. So by setting the gouache on the side of a specific color and being like, okay, these are the specific tones and hues that I am working with, it helped drastically with making sure that this color palette was cohesive and that my underpainting really did the work that I needed it to. One of the things that does get tricky about working with gouache is that lighter colors appear darker when they're wet and darker colors appear lighter when they're wet. So there were a few moments while I was working on this piece where I started to question if I mixed the right color because of how it went on when it was still wet. But I had to just make sure that I was patient, and I watched as it dried down to make sure that I was getting the right color that I was going for. I also was mixing my colors in like an old Chinese food, those like recyclable containers, and it is black, and I feel like the black kind of helped me with seeing the color better. Even though I'm mixing it and it's a wet medium, I feel like once I put it down on the white piece of paper, that's when it started to kind of like, I don't know, like I started to question it. So I feel like mixing it on a black surface helps. So when it goes down on the white surface, it might look a little bit odd, but once it dries down, it's fine. But that is one of the issues that I had. And overall, just being patient and kind of just like zoning into or honing in into the areas of just sticking to that underpainting of the blue helped a lot, because I don't know, like I feel like one of the things I was concerned about definitely was blending. Like, how much did I want the shades to look blended next to each other? I was concerned if like I was going in with a lighter hue or a lighter color next to a darker one, if it would start to look kind of like just a whole bunch of spots and not like a I don't know, like a well-rendered form. But once I put everything down, it definitely helped a lot, and I was really happy with how it was turning out. One of the areas I definitely had a lot of difficulty with was doing the line work. So that brush is deceiving as hell because it looks like it will help me control line weight, but there was something about, I don't know, like just the length of the actual bristles for the brush and the pressure and how much it moved versus didn't move while I was like turning like my canvas. It was just like I just couldn't. So there are a lot of areas where I feel like the line weight wasn't exactly what I wanted it to be, and there were some places where I thought I had screwed it up, but then after I had done the rest of the piece, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but I definitely struggled with the line weight. And one of the things I was trying to do a little bit was I kind of wanted the lines to be kind of like a darker shade of gray for around her skin, but then I ended up mixing in so much black with the gray that it just looks black, and it just turned out to be black, so I just went with it. But I decided to go with a deeper purple for her hair. I feel like I don't know, I feel like it works the way that I did it, but there is a part of me that kind of wonders if I had used a lighter shade of purple that still contrasted with the hair but wasn't too deep, like if that would have worked better. But either way, I'm happy with how it looks, but the line weight and just drawing the line work was definitely a tricky part for me. And at this point, I was still trying to figure out if I wanted to do something for the background or not, because there's a part of me that didn't want to leave it just like the color of the paper, but there was also another part of me that's just like, well, I don't really know what to do, and I don't want to just throw something down and not like it. So I went in with the line weight first before I did anything with the background. At this point, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that I knew I was going to do a hot pink background. So I went in with some shapes. I kind of wanted to experiment a little bit with doing like kind of like triangular shapes to show highlights of pink on her skin, and also kind of just sticking to the original character design. From here, I went in with the pink on the background, and I surprisingly, like, this kind of saved my line work in a way. Like the areas where I had messed up or didn't like how thick I drew the line, going in with this color after helped me to kind of clean up those lines and go back in with the line weight that I intended to do. I didn't record the entire process because I would have been blocking the camera because I had to get super close to clean it up, but here I'm just going in and cleaning up the line work and it'll be finished. And here is the completed piece. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bless up, and until next time, sending out much peace, love, and enlightenment. Bye guys.